Okay, we're still doing this. Good morning, everybody. Okay. So this is still the mono blue deck in my head. We're just trying to we found a formula that's winning. We've had a really good record over mono blue, Demir now, Demir splash red. Or I guess we haven't played this build yet. We've had a really good record with this archetype. This idea of I'm going to play Namor, I'm going to play Force of Negation and Disrupting Shoal, and I'm going to be playing a secondary card advantage creature to also complement the Force of Negation Shoal plan. Frog is obviously better than Sylvoon. Getting access to Fatal Push instead of being removalist is really nice. But the shell has been quite good. I've made a couple changes since we played the Demir version yesterday. Um, I think we only played 4 matches of the Demir version yesterday too. So I ended up going up to the 4th copy of Lrien Revealed in the main deck. I ended up cutting the Sink into Stupor. Also, so I where did I'm playing 5 islands now. I'm not sure exactly how I got the Steamman's Son, but I'm playing the 4th Lrien Revealed. The main reason I'm playing this is so I could shoal pitch Lrien Revealed to counter Quantum Riddler and Solitude. Like, that is just awesome. It also pitches the Force of Negation. It's also like you're just gonna have Namor in play and you're gonna draw 3 cards, and that's gonna be a way you win some games. That's obviously nice to have. But being able to shoal a Riddler or a Solitude was so good yesterday. I just want to be able to do that a little more often. I'm also playing one main deck Scolding over the second Tamiyo. I didn't like the second. It was kind of weird. I liked the first Tamiyo and I didn't like the second. It's kind of hard to articulate, but you don't really want to ever draw 2 in this deck. Or you very rarely want to draw 2, and the first copy is like usually really nice to have, and the second one can be a little weird. It's kind of hard to describe, but I also kind of missed access to Stern Scoldings for playing 1 copy. And I'm cutting. And Drown in the Loch was very good yesterday. I think Drown is maybe just kind of a sleeper post Flage ban. With the Flage being banned, Drown in the Loch has just been seeming so nice. So I ended up cutting the main deck Shadow of Doubt, which didn't do anything. Obviously, it's a very high variance card. It's nice that in this deck with Namor in play, the Shadow of Doubt just makes 2 Merfolks and draws a card. But John was just so strong yesterday. I just wanted to go ahead and main deck it. Main deck the 3rd copy. Still playing the Cryptic. The Cryptic has been good. Possibly you could be playing the 2nd copy in one of the flex spots. Although it's a bit weird with Shoal. There's not that many 4-drops in the format. There's like Karn, Thought-Knot Seer, Legend of Roku, but for the most part, not too many 4-drops, so I don't want to play too many in your Shoal deck. But the big change from today is that we're splashing reds. We're playing a Stevens we can get out of a fetch land or a Lrien Revealed. So we have 13 red sources, incidentally, for some meltdowns to help the affinity matchup. Affinity matchup seems a little sus, although I don't recall playing it. And then also Flashfires. Flashfires, I think, is an awesome sideboard card, and I think this is a deck that gets to take advantage of it really well, where the games are always going to get to turn 4 against Boros, Ponza, and Blink. And against Boros, Ponza, Blink, this card is just kind of lights out. It is just an insane amount of value that just stops them from being able to do anything for several turns. So my stutter has been really good for a long time. I haven't stuttered like that in a while. But I think Flashfires is an awesome tool right now, again, against Boros, Ponza, Blink. It's a pretty big chunk of the metagame. You can also bring it in against Espergorios sometimes. I don't know if we're going to be bringing it in against them today, but a very strong card. A lot of people, obviously not that you would play it in this deck because you have so many islands, but sometimes I'll play like a Boros build, and I'll have Flashfires, I guess not Boros, like a Rakdos build, and I'll have Flashfires instead of Boil. People are like, wait, why Flashfires and not Boil? And it says there's just a lot more planes in the format than islands. Times are changing. So on the draw in a new matchup. Let's mulligan. Better hand. Any Brews with Heroic Feast. We played a little bit of Heroic Feast, and the combo seemed quite bad in the metagame. Okay, so they go Hedge Mage, discard Consign, so they are likely playing Neoform. Yeah, I don't think Ritual's ever going to be doing that. So usually against Neoform, you just kind of want them to jam as early as possible. So I think we're just going to play the Tamiyo turn 1. No Shoal pitch counter assault. Let's get there's a Teferi Time Raveler in play, which was kind of the whole issue there. Now, if they have Pact here, they have the perfect turn 2, we could have played around it, but typically you don't want the game to go super duper long. All right, now they're only going to have 3 cards in hand. One of them is... Oh, sorry, they graveyarded the Consign, but we'll play the Frog. I'm surprised we didn't see a Namor Loki deck. You know, there's a lot of y'all in the chat saying this. I don't think it can possibly work. Like, almost nothing that triggers Loki triggers Namor, and it seems like you have to be filling the decks with like enablers for both. Like I don't think it's like possible almost at all to play both. Like obviously they're both blue creatures, and like in theory the card draw works well with Namor, but like the enablers for Loki just do not enable Loki and vice versa. I guess they can't. Maybe it's just better to flip Tamiyo because they can't do anything. Although we probably don't need to worry too much. It's going to be a difficult game to lose. The camera triggers both. Peter Parker's camera. Peter Parker's camera triggers Loki. I guess it triggers Loki if you. Or so it triggers Namor already if you have a Namor trigger. And camera doesn't even trigger Loki. Yeah, you could have cracked the coup to flip. It's just, I don't know. We probably don't need to worry too much here. What do you think about adding some Riddlers to 75? I'm not that interested. Don't really feel like we need more card draw. And like, obviously Riddler is good with Frog, but it's like, it's not like the most interesting with Frog. It's like, Riddler is like, it's at its best when you have Blink, not when you have Frog. Obviously still playable. Oh, Sewer Valence, I see. I guess that's a one man. It makes one Merfolk with Namor, and also triggers Loki. Not nothing. Namor is non-creature blue spell. Okay. So obviously a pretty good game for us. Let's go ahead and cut 4 copies of Fatal Push. Bring in the 4th Snare. Edict. Then I guess we play 1 Consign as a blue card that can sometimes you counter like Galta ETB. Should be a good matchup. I've not seen Neoform for quite some time. It maybe like got by like everyone playing Vexing Bauble. Just feel like the Vexing Baubles are probably cooled down a little bit since Living In's also been on the out. Jays to Fairy. I don't think it's gonna be a tree we could really bark down, but I don't know. I don't. Maybe I'm thinking about it wrong because maybe Loki is just good with Shoal and Force, and you just play you play fewer Loki enablers, maybe. So we're on the draw for game 2 against Neoform. I think we should mulligan. Just really important to have a snare or a pitch spell. So I'm gonna keep this. I think I'm gonna put back the second counterspell. Like the charms are just so good, you get to like hold up counter magic or draw 2. So they play Rider on turn 1. They pitch 2 Galtas. Playing around Vexing Bauble, I guess. Although Vexing Bauble doesn't make that much sense for my deck. They may also just want to attack a bunch. Maybe they've won some matches like this. Wild the Cattle getting in. Juicy with the 56. Thank you. Welcome back. So best card to see is Sheoldred's Edict. We're also looking for a land or a Force of Negation, I guess. Not exactly looking for that. So they play a 3rd land. So Force or Shoal. Let me tap up for Frog. Land, I'd probably just hold up Charm for a turn. Don't think I want to have the Snare as my only thing up. Draw Namor. We're losing like this. It's a funny way to lose. Yeah, I think I have to counterspell. I don't think at this point I can. I don't think at this point I could just hold up counter magic and not die to the beatdown. So I'm down to 8. And they got it. All right, game 3 on the play. They're bringing in Endurance. Do I want like a Fatal Push? Don't really think so. Is this a keep? It's a 1-lander, which sucks, but we have... I guess we don't have a 2 to pitch to Shoal, which is probably... If one of the 3s was a 2, I think I'd keep. Okay, this hand looks a good bit better. Let's keep up back the Namor. No beats with a 72 months. 6 years is a very long time. I'm glad that you've been here the whole time. It's good to see you every month. Turn 1 Tamiyo is the nuts. Obviously, just the one Tamiyo having it's so strong. With the benefit of time, do you think the Outburst Unban end up being good or for the format or at least neutral? You know, I feel sometimes I feel like time moves slower for me because I have no fucking idea, dude. I have no idea. I don't really feel like it's ended up being a good thing, I guess. I think it's been a small net negative. I think that I really like the gameplay of living in pre-violent outburst, and now I'm like a little bit annoyed by it. It's not the biggest deal ever, or it's a very small deal even. But I'm now like a little bit annoyed by living in where I was like really happy with it. It's the deck quality is not, it doesn't feel that different. But boy oh boy, whenever my opponent casts violent outburst, I think to myself, why did we reintroduce this into modern? Is Consign good against Neoform? Not usually. It's a blue card, which is better than our other options, and you can consign like a Galt to ETB sometimes. Sometimes get them. Sometimes like they'll pact and then they'll replicate their own consign, and you can consign their replicate and then counter their original pact and or their original consign, and they die to their pact. Am I gonna draw 2 with Archmage's Charm or 1 with Tamiyo? 1 is more than 2. Or so 2. Damn it! It's no. 2 is more than 1. I was wrong. It's fine. Really want to draw a pitch card. Totally happy with this trade. Even some broken cards creates poor play patterns. Yeah, it's like I don't think violent outbursts can do anything but be like a net negative. End up being a small net negative. Okay, that's probably a game-winning draw. Land's good as well. I can counter a endurance. Maybe I don't want to. I don't. That's cowardly to not. Why is Spell Snare still in? Against the Neoform deck. I don't know what card against Neoform I'm wanting to counter, actually. What card against Neoform do you want Spell Snare against? I don't know. Okay, they're on 6 cards over there. All right, this is the riders are too big for the scolding now. I believe that on the stack it counts the mana value in play, right? Tamiyo just soloing this game. I don't know if I want to tap out for Frog. I'm gonna wait at least a turn. The question is, if Outburst was never banned in the first place, would the sentiment still be present? Probably just a case of accepted evil that we never got used to and never hated. I hated Violent Outburst for years. I hated Violent Outburst for years. Not everybody did for sure, but I definitely did. Especially while Grief was legal, and obviously the Grief ban alleviated some tension. I think I'm gonna probably just pass a discard consign. So it begins. There's too many twos. I think I have to shoal this. All right, they've got 3 cards in their hand still. I guess Pact plus Neoform beats me. Woo! There's so many hate cards for living, and now is Outburst that bad? It's not that bad. It was just it was not. It's not that bad. I agree. There are worse things. There were also better unbans for gameplay, I think, and like I think Outburst is never good, and so I don't think it was a good unban. But it's there's worse shit. I agree. What's Spell Snare for, they ask. I think we're just gonna hard cast Shoal here. Like I just in general I think not that bad is never a good reason to unban something. You should just only unban things that you think are good. It is like really comical even that like Violent Outburst and Jitte came off in the same unban. Like it's pretty funny. Okay, replicate Consign. I mean this game is pretty over. We just need to stay disciplined, hold up our mana here. Just unban Ampteraptor, give me my stupid cascading dinosaur. Just unban Ampteraptors can never ever come off the ban list, but it's almost definitely a top 10 strongest card on the ban list. Oko also, y'all are so wrong about Oko. Oko would be so mediocre. I know this is like a crazy thing to say. I guess I'll put back the push. Okay, it wouldn't be mediocre, but compared to Oko's not a top 20 card on the modern ban list. I know it's kind of wild to say this, but some of y'all need to hear it. It's not a top 20 modern ban list card. Oko was never as good in modern as it was in standard, Pioneer, or Legacy. Is Raptor better than Johnny? Yes! How are we still having this conversation after 2 years? Amped Raptor is better than a Johnny. It's crazy that that a 2/1 first striker that casts another spell in your deck, and that spell is sometimes and a Johnny. What's better, an Ajani or an Amped Raptor and an Ajani? What's better, an Ajani or an Amped Raptor and a Fable and a Legend of Roku and a Guide of Souls? It's crazy that we're still having this conversation. Would you say Oko's a safer unban than Uro? Yes, I would say that. Oko's just way easier to deal with than any of these other cards. It's not easy to deal with, but it's easier to deal with. So do I Shoal or do I Force? I think I Shoal. I guess I could Force pitch Shoal. Then my Shoal would counter Ragavan, and it would counter the other guy. I guess Shoal's awful to matchup. Yeah, Astrolabe was also better than Oko. Oko was good in modern, but like people's opinion of Oko is warped because of how good it was in standard, Pioneer, Legacy. It just was not as good in modern as it was in those formats. It was still very good. It was still ban worthy, but it wasn't as warping. But I on the topic of Raptor, it's just I still don't understand how 2 years later people. I guess it's because it's been banned for so long. I guess. But like people would I was testing with young Dingo the first week, and like and he would just kept calling Raptor so mid, and it was just like, and then at the end of it I got him to admit it was the best card and the best deck we tested. And then he's still back to the memes. I don't know. He was just doing it to annoy me, but it was the best card in Boros. Okay, well, gonna be a close one here. Yeah, it was a fun testing. Yeah, I've definitely always been really high on Raptor. I called it broken before playing with it. I feel like it's that one NBA clip, like, y'all have no idea how good Tim Duncan is. So I guess I'm gonna block the Brawler and discard 4 cards and hold up Charm. If they don't attack, I guess I could draw 2 end of turn. Okay. Now I don't really know how good Tim Duncan was. I watched a little bit when he was in the league. I am cold to Scion of Draco if I push an attack. So I think that's enough of a reason for me to chill here. I guess I could Cryptic the Leyline. Would you say Amtraptor's better than Tim Duncan? I would never say that. How dare you? How many booms can you get? Okay, Boons, you've been asking for big booms. I'm feeling generous. You can get one big boom for every sub you gift. As an ongoing offer. One big boom per sub. Do we think that my opponent is capable of sandbagging? No, I don't think that they're sandbagging Scion. And if they were, I still have the bounce leyline outs. Oh, as an ongoing offer. What does push have 2 modes? Did it have 2 modes there? I think it did. Watch this. I don't have to even click no to pay life because I don't have the life to pay. What? One big boom for Backwaters! Boom! I will be countering the spell, and I will be drawing a card. Thank you. Perhaps bouncing the ley line is better. DGS Dogs. A limited time offer. Don't expect this, but big boom for DGS Dogs. Feeling pretty good about our spot here. A little bit worried my opponent's gonna like load up on lightning bolts. Counterspell. Do I even cast the charm? I think sure. I do not think my opponent has 2 bolts or bolt plus stub in their hand. So I play a frog. I only have yeah, 1 counter up should be fine. Wait, did I discard the hand size? Sorry. I knew this turn I was gonna have to discard the hand size. Okay, I should have lethal next turn. Maybe it was better to just have lethal without the other frog. This was a crazy game to win though. Let's take a moment and appreciate that this says we won. Probably fine for the thirst. I'm gonna play at least one of these. I'm gonna play at least 2 of these, if not 3. They are playing the Sheoldred Brawler, so the snares are gonna be a 2 or a 3 of. Scolding seemed pretty bad. I'm gonna cut all 4 copies of Force. Found my Pop-Tart. 1 big boom, please. Offer rescinded. Limited time. I think I'm gonna cut a drown. Big boom, big boom. Let's play 1 Flashfires in the draw. Maybe play the second on the play. I think I'd like the 3rd Consign. Maybe probably more than the 3rd Snare. Maybe more than the 2nd Drown. Drown's okay. Drown's okay. Drown's actually maybe good. Is Drown good? I think I'm gonna say Drown's good. I think the Cryptic's probably a bit awkward against all the counter magic they play. Let's do here. Yeah, yeah, Shoal's probably a weak link. I think it's okay. Okay, I think I'll play a Cryptic over Shoal 3. Yeah, I'm creating false scarcity with the big booms. I learned it from Wizards of the Coast. Is Namor plus Harmonized Trio too weak? Just a lot of setups for brainstorms. I mean, if you have both those going, it's good. But the thing is, Harmonized Trio, like Namor is always good when it's going. That's the thing about Namor is if you have an alive Namor, you're like that scene from Goodfellas where you're holding your pinky, laughing hysterically, laughing so much you can't stop laughing. But ooh, am I gonna steal Wild Decadal? And I have a Steam Vents to make it a 2/2. Like that's how you feel with Namor, right? Well, I'm probably gonna kiss the Edict next turn. And so it's like with the brainstorm guy, you have to do more. And the brainstorm guy wants you to play more creatures, and Namor wants you to play more non-creatures. Unfortunately. The card is blank. It's literally blank. Might be interested in stealing so that the Edict can get something else. We'll see. Wait, is it blank? I'm trying to make sure. Yeah, I literally blank. I don't have Snapcaster, I don't have Cling to Dust. Oh, frog! Frog! Okay, I can't fly with frogs. Close to blank. Oh, my drowns. Okay, sorry. It's better. Sorry. I look like a fool laughing with my pinky in my mouth. I hope you all know what scene I'm referencing. It's been a while since I've been a drowner, I guess. All right, let's steal. 1/2/2, please. So I guess we board out our drowns for game 3. They have 4 spells in their hand. They cannot cast a Scion yet. They're getting beat the fuck down by our the Coddle. Y'all countering this? It's a little weird. I actually am going to counter this. Because I think if my opponent has stub, they will stub the counterspell, and that will let me Lrien Revealed. So I'm kind of trying to trade this for stub or denial, not trade it for the Nacatl. But then they didn't have the stub. Wait, I thought I boarded out the Scolding. I guess not. Should have, I think. Well, I drew more draw 3s off my draw 3. Board against Scold against the creature deck. It only counters Ragavan. It doesn't counter Nacatl. It doesn't counter Scion Draco. It doesn't counter Kavu. It doesn't counter anything. Gonna be kind of painful. So I guess I'm gonna push the Nacatl so I'm not dead to bolt, and so I can steal the Ragavan. Why doesn't it counter Nacatl? Oh, I guess it does counter Nacatl. It's not templated like Kavu and Scion. Another threat. Oh, flames. Okay. All right, so let's redo our sideboard plan. I'm gonna cut the drowns if my opponent's gonna have if they're gonna have recipe set, we'll just maneuver around that. I'm gonna cut the Scolding. I think I'm gonna play Snare number 3. I'm looking at Flashfires number 2. Yeah, I think I do want the Shoals also. Well, Shoals. I don't like. Maybe I want to play some forces so I can go Namor and like force like Leyline Binding or like Frog force Leyline Binding sometimes. I didn't show them the Flashfires. They didn't have Leyline game 2, so they're gonna have Leyline game 3. I'm just kind of feeling it. So am I just off Boiled? Not a lot of islands running around. Do you think that this would be a good deck for Boiled, Toborg? Also, there are a lot more plains than islands. You're good. You're good. I cast Boil. Also, they didn't have Leyline. What the heck? So I think I'd like to Fatal Push and Surveil. Don't want to Snare. I guess I get the Steam Vents. So I believe we want to use the Counterspell so that we can tap off for Namor and be able to answer a Resolve threat. I think I'll play the Namor. It's the most expensive card here. It's the most mana efficient. If they have a binding, like they're gonna get one of my threats I tap for anyways. I just have the other one. If I draw land, I could go Frog's Edict maybe if I'm not gonna hold up Cryptic. They did not get their Endotha Triome, which kind of implies that they don't have a binding in their hand, but then they kept a card on top. Does Night of Flames. They have 5 cards in their hand. They play a Sacred Foundry. Scion of Draco. I guess it's castable if they spend 4 mana. Alright, so they spend 2 mana on a Binding. They have 3 cards in their hand. They pass the turn. Yeah, I think I'd rather wait on the Frog until I can go Edict plus Frog, and I enjoy casting Cryptic Command. I missed the question on why Splash for Flashfires. The card is really good in Modern. It's very good against Blink, Boros, and Ponza. That's a huge chunk of the meta for the quantity of sideboard cards we're playing. Okay, they do nothing. Finding land would be nice, maybe so I could pay for stub on the Cryptic. I mean, that is a land, but not one that lets me pay for stub this turn. Could maybe have just held it. They cycle the Undaunted Triumph, so they probably don't have a Scion of Draco stuck in their hand. I feel this change to the mana base makes it worse a lot against Ponza. Maybe you should think the Steam Vince is going to die more often than you're able to cast Flashfires. I think Flashfires as a card is good against Ponza, but maybe it's too hard to cast. We are -1 basic. We still have 5 basics. I'm just going to counter draw this. Flashfires would be good here. We did board the second one in. Although countering this is kind of funny thinking about the Flashfires. I mean, I just need to do this. If they counter, that's fine. Sure. All right, Flashfires. Damn it. All right, well, I guess we could protect the Frog from a bolt. We have 5 basic lands. We can get to 4 mana against Ponza. You can try to hold the Steam Vents. You can try to like Lrien Revealed for it, and like wait till you draw the Flashfires, play it. They have 3 cards in their hand. They play a Ragavan with a dash, so I guess I'm going to be blocking and discarding the Watery Grave. 5 basics seems a lot. Yeah, I mean, obviously Ponza can get through them, but like we could get to 4 mana, especially we have a lot of counter magic too. So now they bolt the Frog. Okay, don't think I'm supposed to Edict. They have 1 card in their hand besides this. It could be easily a dud. Well, I'm happy I boarded the second Flashfires, at least. Big money, top deck. Well, I guess I can Edict the Ragavan. Hopefully I can Edict the Ragavan. They might have second Ragavan as a card. They could have Flames. They could have second Bolt. They could have second Binding. They could be holding on to a land to loot to Kavu later. I doubt they're holding on to a Scion at this point in the game. Ponza shrugs off 4 mana land destruction spell doesn't add to board. Come on. Ponza is not invincible to kill all of your lands or kill 3 of your lands. It's not, the deck is not that good. They did have the Scion, so unfortunately I had to burn the Edict. If this was the Requiting Hex instead, we maybe would have won this game. Second ley line. So I have 1 Sheoldred's Edict. I could also sometimes you could just like we could maybe Flashfires and Frog them. Not that we have that much time. Also, we might be dead to Flames because we have the Charm. Gonna say no to that. Okay, I'm gonna draw 2. Oh, I didn't leave up push. Probably not that relevant, I guess. Spiker just got Godbless and put 2 hide on the ceiling for 2 ephemerate. It was good to blink the equipment combos sign. That's pretty cool. I've been wanting to play the deck again, so maybe we'll try that. Okay, I'm gonna discard my whole hand here, I guess. If their hand is second Flames or Bolt, we got. I'm gonna go ahead and note that though. Hideblade. Okay, I'm taking 4 down to 5. Why did you play Edict over Thirst Rag? Thirst is a sorcery. I have it so I can kill a Johnny. Oh, yes, let's fucking go, dude. Maybe they have a stub, though. Okay. So, we just chill, right? Where do I get a card? I don't. We get one card off this frog. We don't need to get it right now. It's like that we're holding a land. So I've drawn a Namor. Just pretty bad against Leyline Scion. I do have one more Edict in the deck. 30 cards. Uh-oh. Damn, Ragavan is actually so bad. Because now I can't Edict. So I have a Force for Bolt. Like, let's just go ahead and take our card. If they double block, I can discard. Can block here, obviously. So we take our card. Save that to discard to Frog, I guess. I'm usually a big Touch the Spirit Realm hater, but maybe you could play it. They're hasting something. These are 4 pretty good cards for post Flashfires. Arena of Glory, especially, just actually killing me this turn. Although I don't think I could have beaten it. All right, tough game. Dang, I blew up all their lands, and then I lost like 3 turns later. So they were last seen playing Sam combo. Let's keep. I like that I have Force for a possible Birthing Ritual. Best card in their deck. Do you think we should play a Frog here? I played a few leagues with Godblade. Mjolnir is fine. Meteor Sword felt great. I wanted to lean more into that if I come back to the deck. The thing, I don't know that you need to play a second copy. Like we've played it before. I wanted to play Assimilation Aegis. It's also one thing I was thinking with the Jeskai deck was if Assimilation Aegis is better than Mjolnir, which I don't think it is, but if it is, then maybe just stick to blue white. Are you supposed to play 5 basic for pawns? Is that too much? It's kind of I play as many as you can. I would love to play a 6-1. All right, let's just go ahead and Fatal Push the Bowmaster and hold up Counterspell. Maybe if I had played Steam Vince first, it would have been better to Counterspell, hold up Push. Could also just let this exist, maybe. Yeah, I think I actually just let it exist. And tap out for Namor. If they combo kill me because they have the 3 of their combo pieces and 5 of their cards, it's fine. I think it depends on if your deck is good against Ponza. Yeah, sure. Depends a little bit. So I don't think they're going to be able to play like black creature than greens. Of course, not greens, like Court of Calling. Not going to have enough green. How interesting is it to unearth Namor? I think not that interesting since your Namor decks kind of require that you are playing a ton of... Is attacking with both? I think I'm just going to attack with the frog. I don't think I like trading 1 damage for 2 here. It's interesting if you are playing a lot of like enough creatures to facilitate unearth, but the more creatures you play, the worse Namor gets. And then unearth is also not a blue card. It does bring back the Namor. So I don't know. I think I've been happy with unearthless. I could be wrong. Maybe like getting to play like a bunch of like Thought Scours and Considers, triggering Namor's good. Okay. I do think they have Court of Calling. So if I block like this, they Court of Calling kill me. I guess they don't have a sack outlet. Maybe blocking the servos better. I think if I just chill, it's kind of hard to lose though. Alright, we'll keep our chill attitude here. You know, Transcendent Message is sick with Namor. It's really, really cool with it, but it's only good with active Namor, and Namor is already pretty good. So I guess I just go counter target spell, and I have Shoal for 2 or 3 up. Unearth would make this like the old Esper Mentor Dixie build. Namor kind of reminds me of this. Yeah, Namor is a lot better than Mentor. I don't know. We could maybe look at building it that way. It would be awesome if it worked. So they crack the fetch. Maybe they're going to go Surveil, land into the yard, and then play Oculus off the Goose. They play an Oculus as a core target pretty often. Okay, so my Namor is 6 power. They do have a Goose to block with, so I don't think we have really any YOLO win the game options here, but should just be in kind of fine shape. They also have plenty of food to gain plenty of life. So I think I'm going to attack with the Frog and the Namor. I guess a double block on the Frog. It's a little awkward. Yeah, I don't know that I play the second Frog. I think I'll be able to Shoal, spend mana on it this turn. Like on a 1 or a 2. Interestingly, it chose to take 6. Why are they playing Wooded Foothills? It's probably their 9th fetch after 4 Burning Catacombs, 4 Windswept Heath. Isn't this unlosable now? I don't know. You tell me. I mean, like my opponent can survive for a while here with double Goose and a bunch of food tokens. And I can draw all blanks, and they can draw 3 good cards. I don't know. I would say that usually games where my chatters say, "Isn't this unlosable?" are games where my opponents find like crazy cards like this, like I have to use counterspell on this instead of Shoal. Bridgeworth's Battle is a cool card here. Card probably we should be playing more with Trudge. Would be playing more copies of it if the Ponza deck wasn't around. Chat says, "Isn't this unlosable?" And the opponent immediately draws Bridgeworks Battle. Okay, let's fly the Frog. I don't think I'm sending it with my Merfolk they just have. Well, maybe I am. No, they just go chump and then block 3 of them. Okay, losing both geese makes it easier. I do get hit for 2 damage off the Apprentice. They're going to sack a food to gain life. And then I also lose another life to the Apprentice there. Isn't this unlosable? We're still probably going to win. Obviously, we could drown the Apprentice or something if things got kind of out of control. Don't think we're there yet. Am I a House of the Dragons enjoyer? I watched the first 2 seasons. I haven't seen any of the new season yet. Okay, they just concede in response to tapping mana. Ghost Vacuum's good. They counter a food token against the cat. I guess that's not so good. I think I'll play the 4th Snare and the push. Seems like an okay Flashfires matchup. I think we'll just do this. Has season 3 been good? I watched Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I thought that one was awesome. Yeah, Esther's been saying she wants to wait for the whole thing to be out, but I don't want to wait that long. We keep watching Wings games instead. Interesting. Your choice to play Flashfires or Pyroclasm as a sweeper choice. I don't necessarily view those two cards in the same spot, despite the fact that yes, they both come in against Boros. But like Pyroclasm comes in against Boros. Flashfires comes against Blink, Boros, and Ponza. So you do get like a lot more coverage. And I've also found that like Pyroclasm is kind of weird in your Namor deck. Like Namor is a card that takes over games against Boros, and then when you draw Pyroclasm while that's happening, it's a little bit off plan. Get the one land goose hand. Steal. Steal. Okay, I could steal it. Could steal. Might actually steal. I don't want them making food tokens is really bad for me with the cat. And then I also get to just block the cat and not get chipped down. I talk myself into it, I guess. And then if they have another birthing ritual, we just have another counter. Okay, not gonna counter that, I think. It's nice that Charm has been feeling like a good card again. Still don't exactly know why. I know we should have a breeding pool. It's fine. I think one of the biggest problems with Sam combo is like all your little guys are black, and then you have Court of Calling, and like my opponent just does not have Court of Calling up here. But if they did, I'd be like, I'd be dead. But I guess I would force, but you know what I mean. Okay, I think I'm gonna not fly. Just try to like maybe get some favorable blocks here. Don't think I want to kill the apprentice. I think I'd probably rather kill the feeder. Obviously could kill both. Maybe I kill the feeder now to play around Court of Calling plus land and then being able to chord for an Oculus. Although maybe I just would like for them to do that because I have force. Land number 3. Also playing around Renegade Rallier, I guess. You push the feeder, they'll sack the feeder and counter my push. Damn it. I've played right into it. Cooking would be Namor, Legend of Karuk to make double tokens and Waterbend extra turn. I almost put a Legend of Karuk in a deck. I don't know, was it a Namor deck? New Set Brewing sometimes is just a blur like that. But I did almost put a Legend of Karuk in a deck this week, and I don't remember what it was. I couldn't tell you. Yeah, I'm cool with this. I think the push is a little too premium. With Boris Ponce being around, do you think Soul Trader is a better combo deck than Sam? I've kind of felt for a long time that Soul Trader is better than Sam. I think that the mono black stuff is grindier. Maybe I should just be flying. I think like the mono black stuff is grindier, I think, than this stuff. Ooh. Okay. The third one? So I'm gonna wait to see what they sack. I could kill the apprentice, but then if they find a Sam, I think I want to push Sam instead because their food generation's a bit too scary. Okay, so I think now I'm just gonna be mana efficient and kill this. And at this point, I am happy if they chump block the frog with carrion feeder because getting their creature count low is really valuable. They recognize that. Draw another Namor. I think I'm just going to play Namor with Shoal on 2 or 3 up. Not that they have that many 3s. We did see Renegade Rallier. I think Leader Super Genius is better. I don't even remember what that card does. I played some with it, obviously, in the Team Sealed. It like connives at the beginning of your turn. All my drawing are Namors. What could I have done to prevent this? Root Wall with the Twitch Prime. Thank you. Welcome back. Give them another trigger here. I could make 2 tokens with that. So I play the frog. I think I'm a little too tapped out here. Connives the beginning of combat where you connive. It draws an extra card. Yeah, I mean, maybe that is good. So they only have 2 Sams left in the deck. Get to dig for him pretty hard with this, though. Is there any other text? It just connives? Connives and then you draw the extra card? What happens if I dump my whole hand? If I dump my whole hand, I'm attacking for 8. And then I attack for 9 next turn. I guess they'll kill a Merfolk. I'll have only 1 blocker. And I block here, and I take 3 down to 4. Then this triggers down. Oh, I have the goose too. Sure, let's just do it. So just 1/3 connive. For creature control, connive, draw card. You draw a card, then connive. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem that exciting. Why not draw 3 at the upper hand? Orcish Bowmaster is going to deal me too much damage. My hand just kind of sucks, so we just say no to the hand. Would y'all like the best card? Let's go. They target me instead of a Merfolk. Probably wrong. Why not play some of them? Isn't each card equivalent to damage? Yeah, I think that you guys think that there is not an Orcish Bowmaster in play, it seems. But there is one, and I think I cannot play it. I'm stealing that. Maybe I'm stealing the 3/3. Yeah, I kind of like that their blocks suck or attacks suck if I steal this. Namor doesn't draw cards? No. Makes Merfolk. Frog draws cards. If they find a stack outlet, I go to 1, right? Yeah, Namor also triggers off of non-creatures. If they find Sam, I lose. Yes. So I guess that was a reason to steal the Young Wolf, as I die to Sam now. So there is text rules. Whenever you cast a blue spell, is just to prevent abuse of free spells. I don't understand the question. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with more than blue mana symbols, its mana cost, you make that many Merfolk tokens. I mean, you can play with free spells and it works. So maybe I've miscounted here. Yeah, and I think they can put me to 1. They can sack a Bowmaster, a Seer, a Young Wolf. That's 3. and they can't sack the apprentice, or if they could, it doesn't trigger off itself anyways. So what can they do with just one card in their hand and one Overgrown Tomb? Yeah, so in this deck, like, you get to go Namor with Force of Negation and Shoal up, and you get to make them Merfolk. Two and one. So on the play, opponent last seen playing Prowess. Basically a 5-lander. But we have Namor. I think Scolding into Namor is pretty... I mean, they might not be playing Prowess. It was 29 days ago. But Scolding into Namor, I think, is just pretty good. If that's what they're on. So maybe if we had not seen a different deck as their last played deck, we would have changed something. Put it in the tank here. I guess I'll throw this up. Have any announcements on my game in terms of mechanics or how it plays? Not yet. We're going to have to wait on that still. Because honestly, like, with the game, we're worried it's probably too late now for this to happen. We're worried someone's going to steal the idea if we announce what it is. But hopefully we'll be announcing, like, the game, and pre-orders will be available at the same time. And that will be hopefully early December this year, assuming nothing goes wrong. And why would it? Why would it go wrong? Definitely keeping that. See what they got as their turn 2 play. They have Steel Cutter, and they have Baubles. They have the nuts. Bad news for us. Yeah, all I've said so far is it's a physical game. We'll have some digital release stuff, but for the most part, physical. Corey Steelcutter is it a top 5 modern card? Maybe not. Definitely top 10. I'm not going to play around Mutagenic Growth. Let's take 4. Okay, it's a pretty good pickup. I don't know if I'm stealing or not. Likely surveilling. I'm likely going to cast Force and Charm here. I do think forcing this is good. I just need them to stop having cards. And they bolt me. So let me see what I'm drawing. If I'm drawing a good card, it makes it a lot easier to steal here. I don't think I want a Tamiyo. No, thank you. So they have holy guacamole, a lot of power, a lot of toughness here. I think I got to steal probably. If I draw, then I'm going like, yeah, I got to steal. What am I doing here? Namor contending with double Steel Cutter for now at least. They bolt again. They bolt me again. They have only one card in their hand. Are they sending? They're sending. So this is a block. This is a block. This is a block. Do I chump or do I spend 3 to deal with 1 token? This will leave 1 Namor against 1 token. Sure. So we're going to need a good top deck here. That's good enough. Sure. Maybe it's not good to counter this. No, they get to equip this and it's a 4 power flyer. Let's not do that. Do they have a second spell? They have a Slick Shot Show Off, which is pretty good. Dude, I love it. My opponent just no think, just attack. Okay, maybe they're doing some thinking. So we're taking 2 down to 4. Their show off dies. One of the tokens dies. They're out of cards in hand. So I guess we really hope that they draw a non-creature spell I can force and that they don't just equip Corey's Steel Cutter to a monk token and attack for 2. They draw Scalding Tarn. They crack the Scalding Tarn for Steam Vince, I'm sure. Oh, Surveil. Okay. So they Surveil. They keep a card on top. They crack the Islet. Lava Dart, Lava Dart, Lava Dart. Okay, goes to combat. No attacks. Okay. Guess maybe just trying to get those Steel Cutter tokens. So not Lava Dart. Drawing Island here, kind of tough. Equips the Quarry Steel Cutter. And then it's going to trigger Prowess in combat, probably. Alright, well played. So if they trigger Prowess in combat, I die if I don't block like this. So let's block like this. They mutagenic growth. I think we might as well get a couple merfolk for our trouble. And then we get to... Oh, we don't even get to trade. So I go down to 2. They have 1 card in their hand. I just have 2 merfolk. Maybe Archmage's Charm and them having nothing is my plan here. Spell Snare, not really doing it. Let's go to game 2. They had the nuts. I think it's hard to feel too upset. Bring in the Thirst, could bring in the Snare. I think I will play both Edicts. Go down 1 Force of Negation. I've been liking 3, I think. I've been liking the Drowns. Been loving the Namors. Gonna cut the Cryptic. Maybe I just play 2. I like. Maybe go down to Tamiyo. Maybe just done the 2 Force. I don't know. Kind of close. Wasn't it better for them to target the other token with mutagenic? I suppose it didn't end up mattering because of the Force, but with the Trample, I think it's the same, right? Meltdown's a really bad answer to Quarry Steel Cutter. Like, you have to shock for it. You have to spend 3 mana. They've probably already made a token. Like, it is good if they get 2 Steel Cutters down, but I think it's better to just play like 4 Snares, play Force, play Counterspell, play Drown, play Shoal. Just don't let it resolve. That's the best way to play against it. A good side for a 2-drop where the only way to favorably exchange against it is to counter it. Is there a way to fit Namor into the Ten Rings deck or vice versa? Both love free spells. Maybe. I'll say I didn't like the Ten Rings deck very much. I kind of want to try the Trash for Treasure build again, though. There's an argument Steel Cutter's best card. I think Steel Cutter's probably top 5. I think K Command's the only card that's like for sure. It's like K Command, Guide Pride, and Johnny. Amulet of Vigor is still like a very, very good card, although the deck overall is a lot worse. Quantum Riddler, Ephemerate, Solitude. Like the list is pretty big. Slumbering Trudge. So I might go Spawn. But Steel Cutter is one of like the hardest to interact with cards in the format, and it's like Steel Cutter it's one of the only cards that is like it's just so fast and so grindy. Like I don't know that I can think of any other card maybe besides like Amped Raptor that's fast. That's like as fast and as grindy. Saga Kappa, yeah, those as well. Trudge is one of the top cards. I'm being silly when I say Trudge, but the Trudge deck is very good as far as like the card Slumbering Trudge. It's not even the best card in the deck, probably. I mean, K Command is. Is it Consign top card most played? It's most played. I think it's kind of silly to call it. Like, let's be real. Consign to Memory is the most played card because Wizards of the Coast did a really bad job balancing Modern Horizons 3, and they unbanned Violent Outburst. Like, there's not like 5-head Consigned to Memory is the best card. It's like the only card that's good against. It's one of the only cards that's good against the Eldrazi stuff, and there's a lot of it, and it happens to be good against other stuff as well. Okay, so they're playing a show off. I am pretty interested in going Namor with Shoal up, but then am I going to be letting Steel Cutter resolve? I think the problem is I'm letting Steel Cutter resolve anyways. I mean, I guess I have the push. Okay, we'll just pass. Probably should have thought this a little bit more. Maybe I could just let the show off resolve too. It's kind of interesting. They plot a second show off. Okay, well played. I think now with Scolding up and Shoal up, it's probably fine. I think I might just let the second show off resolve. It's a little silly. Yeah, they don't have enough mana really for it to be that scary. Okay. Yeah, just And then this answers both show offs if they even play. I don't know if they're gonna play them this turn. Yeah, they don't. Okay, cool. So I think I could just attack for 7. Opponent's probably feeling great. They're like, I have double show off. I have double steel cutter against the Demir deck. Thankfully, we are wise to how good Namor is. Warmonger with the 35 months. Good to see you. They have 3 cards still in their hand. It's like so impossible for them to counter Fatal Push. Like, you have to have double Spell Pierce. I kind of feel like I want to make them commit more into the show off. If I had to preordain, I would like to see Raptor Bapt, even if it means we need to ban something else. There's no number of cards you could ban where Amped Raptor is a reasonable card to unban. You could ban Guide Pride, and you could ban Guide Pride and Johnny, Galvanic Discharge, Aether Hub, and it is still an unreasonable modern card. Amped Raptor is one of the most broken cards ever printed. All right. So we are going to game 3, or the draw for game 3. I think I would probably like the 3rd Force of Negation on the draw. Maybe down to Drown. Charms are really good. Frogs are really good. I mean, I'm going to go down an Edict. It's crazy how fast Namor wins. We do have a 2nd mana. We have yeah, this hand's got to be a keep. Okay, thankfully I don't have a 1-drop, so I don't have to think about if I'm going to shoal like a channeler here. I really want to play Frog turn 2. I think it's probably better that I have Snare up, and if I don't need to use the Snare, I can just Lrien Revealed. Like if they plot show off, that is what they do. Just because a card is a reactive card doesn't mean it can't be the best card in the format. But I agree with that completely, of course. But I just still don't think that Consign is the best card in the format. It's just like your ability to react is just kind of like taxed, maybe is the way to put it. Like there's not the quality of what you can react with is not like it's just so hard to interact with Sowing Mycospawn and gain Kozilek's commanding card. Like there's just not that much that's efficient. I do think like sometimes you might want to play like the first Ceremonious Rejection as like the 5th Consign. Sometimes we do that. I think I'm gonna pass again because I could just Charm Draw 2 if my opponent continues to wait. So they have 2 show-offs plotted again. And they play an Expressive Iteration. I think I'm going to use Counterspell on this since the Snare is definitely a lot more premium here. I guess I'll be cycling this, getting an island. Okay, draw another shoal. I think the same attitude here is like if they're just going to play slowly, I can draw 2 in a turn. So here's a Quarry Steelcutter. So let's go Spell Snare this. Then they play Bauble. So they're not going to play show-offs. Although, should they have played the show-offs here? I genuinely don't know, but it seems like it would have been fine. Let's draw 2. So, how do we want to do this? I think getting the Frog down this turn is looking appetizing to me. I can shoal, pitch a shoal. Let's hardcast Force on this. Saw someone talk about Stormwind Entity, completely forgot about the card. Yeah, I mean it's just much worse than other options now. Or not even thinking about playing the show. You got to play him at some point. You can't save him for game 4. This is game 3. Not a bad hand we got here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go 3 mana, shoal this. I think I let this go. They are still not playing a show off. Alright, Edict is worse than Drown. Let's use the Edict here. Very strange game. They find their third land finally. They still have 4 spells in their hand, so maybe my shock that they're being so casual is unwarranted. I think it's probably a good time to use the snare. And then now, could I just let this go? I could pitch Shoal. I could hardcast Shoal. Yeah, let's go hardcast Shoal. And then I could pitch the other one maybe. They have 4 cards still in their hand. Look at this graveyard. They have a Spell Pierce. Do we pitch cast? Let's surveil. Let's see what we're drawing. They only have 3 cards. We don't need to be very worried about dying. Namor. Namor definitely wants me to keep these cards. I think I'm gonna shoal. I think Namor also is fine to let's shoal this. They bolt my frog. It's crazy how grindy prowess is. They have 3 cards in their hand and 2 of them are spells. This was their draw for turn. They're gonna surveil. So what's their hand? Like dart, mutagenic growth, something like that maybe. I would have believed mutagenic growth. I'm gonna go ahead and draw 2. As much as I love thievery. You know what? I think I just draw 2 more. Well, this is the weakest card in the deck, kinda. Attack for 7. I had no spells in my hand when I started this turn. Now I'm attacking for 7. It's crazy that Archmage's Charm is good in Modern again. It's crazy how things can just change like this. It's always been good. I don't know. I've definitely had some bad days with Archmage's Charm. Yeah, we just needed to add 6 power with it. Alright, let's get a 4-1 prediction going. Keep this on the draw, I guess. They're on a mold of 6. Opponent leads on Watery Grave and Thoughtseize, maybe? So they take my Tamiyo. We're going to need to hold up Spell Snare for their frog. Grixis, maybe the Grixis Reanimator deck? How often do I need to hold up Drown here? Do you think Drown... I'm going to graveyard this. I do think Drown's pretty good against them, if that's what they are playing. It seems like that's what they're playing. I think I'm just going to play a Surveil land here. Yes, please. Basic island, or snow-covered island. Spell Pierce, okay. So, Drown is not very good against Frog. But I just have more cards than they do. They play the land really fast. I guess they're not winning the discard battle. it's good exactly now. No, they just discard a card and then they exile their graveyard. Yeah, so like in this spot they have 2 cards in their graveyard. I target it with Drown. Then they discard 1 card and they exile all of them. And it's never good against Frog. Unless they have no cards in their hand, I guess. So I play my Frog. I'll have 3 cards, they'll have 3 cards. I think it's good to hold up the Drown. They keep a card on top. They scour themselves. So this is so they can cast Oculus. So I don't think it makes much sense to go counter the scour because they could just discard a card, then they can cast the Oculus. I could maybe drown the Frog in response. If I drown Frog in response, they just exile 3 cards. It's a bit weird. Could do nothing. Yeah, I guess do nothing and then just use the drown to kill the Oculus. They mill looting. Oh, I guess they'll just be able to save it with the Frog still. Yeah, so I guess I should have just countered. I think I may be hoping for some mistakes here. Yep. Sometimes you just gotta hope for mistakes. So looting flashback, 4 cards to choose from here. They discard an Oculus, which is a bit scary. And they persist an Oculus, sure. It's a 4/4, so I can potentially flag it in. Yeah, I think we'll fly this time. Set them for 2 down to 13. And draw a Namor. Alright, Namor versus Oculus is not a matchup we've really had. They scour, they discard. Or they mill over Thoughtseize and they mill over Mire. Then they play a looting from hand. 3 cards to choose from. They discard a Frog and they discard another looting. They tap for a black and then they unearth another Oculus. Namor's gotten us out of a lot of sticky situations, but there may be another 3-mana creature that reigns supreme on these kind of boards. 5/5 blocker is also kind of tough here. Maybe I'm going to draw 2 cards, make 3 Merfolk. They do have no cards in their hand, but they do have the lootings. Fatal Push. So I guess I'd kind of like the idea of flying the Frog. If they block with Oculus, then I discard these 3. They just take the hit, kind of predictable. So now I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to go block the 4/4 with our Namor and then Fatal Push the other one. They didn't flip over anything, so these are all probably nothing. So we kind of need them to not have something good here. That with the looting, they're probably going to have something, but will it be good? They discard an Archon and they discard a looting. So did they? And they play a land. You got lootings in the graveyard. You're gonna play a land here. I guess they just think they can't lose. Okay, so let's go block here. Take 5. My streamer 5-minute break. Push this. They have no cards in their hand. Stable? Think they want 3 mana against Draco's. They can have that next turn. They can shotgun the land if they want. They discard Oculus, they discard land. Oh, sorry, they discard Meyer Delta. Yeah. I was looking for I was looking for a looting in the yard, but obviously they're not going to be there. So what chat, what is 7? What is 7 plus 6? Oh, sorry. I don't know how they get those are. 3 plus 6. Seems like it's 9, right? 3 plus 6. This is a crazy game to have won. Round of applause to everybody involved. Been loving the 4th Lrien Revealed. Alright, so let's bring in the 4th Snare. Let's bring in, I think, both Edicts. I think let's bring in the Ghost Vacuums. Chat, how are we feeling about Drown in the Loch? It's really insane if your opponent doesn't know how to play against it. Let's be reasonable here. Yeah, not only did our opponent have to not know how to play around Drown, but they also had to we had to like play very tight and get very lucky to win anyways. Did he let you drown the first Oculus or Frog? Yeah, they did. They didn't play around the drown with Frog. They didn't know. And like I said, we just gotta hope they don't know what's going on. Thurston. Thirst being sorcery is kind of rough against Imp. They discard a Frog and they discard a Spell Pierce. 2 cards that you usually love to have in your opener. Don't love to draw the extra land here. Looks like we're getting flooded more today than we did yesterday. Just normal stuff, I guess. So they unearthed the Frog. Now my opponent just discarded Spell Pierce. So I'm going to kind of guess they have another one. Let's say no to this. I don't think this is likely to resolve. Let's at least tap the blue mana. I'll see about silent streaming this game. What software to use to stream? Got any tips? I use Streamlabs. I mean, I'll say that there's plenty of tutorials on setting up how to stream Magic Online and streaming in general. And I encourage you to look at those. As far as silent streaming, I don't know. I think Jim has done it some. That's what you want to do. You should go for it. I don't know how they graveyarded the Spell Pierce. Probably just a mistake, I guess. Now I feel a little silly graveyarding that Counterspell. I'm going to shoal this. Everyone's playing Grixis Reanimator, pretty normal deck. They play a Meyer. They have Thoughtseize? What will they take? They took the Lrien Revealed. I guess I'd rather not just tell them I drew a Delta. Not a good draw. Polluted Delta. I'm gonna not F6 here, so it looks like I drew a Counterspell. Well, happy we added the 4th Lrien Revealed. Okay, well. That's fine, I guess. So maybe they kept Dispute up. Maybe they kept Dispute up for the Frog instead of the Spell Pierce, which is, worse for sure. And then they top deck an Oculus, and we probably just go to game 3. My sub comment is Click works with Basim and Loki. That's true. Wasp kind of is like the new hotness for that. Okay, a little late. You know, we won kind of an unwinnable game last game, so let's maybe try to do that again. I'll leave this in my hand for Fatal Push. Maybe they'll just they might put an Archon in the yard, I don't know. Cycles and Unearth. Maybe I shouldn't have been yielded to turn. Yeah, I guess if I draw Fatal Push, we're kind of doing okay. Fatal Push. Okay, I mean, the only way we could win is if my opponent oopsie doopsies, like cast Thought Scour, puts Archon in the yard, and even then, I don't know that we're out of this. That's why Mark Rosewater gave us game 3. Do we just play Frog? With you could never ever win if you just play Frog here, so I don't think so. Yeah. Maybe you could. Maybe I'm missing something. Discard instead of block. You just block the 2/2s. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a winning line. Maybe it is. I think we're just going to game 3 and hoping to draw less lands in game 3. Here's less lands. Exactly what I asked for. I mean, I have to keep this on the play against Grixis. The vacuums are so nuts. Push is good. Do you ever board out Cryptic opponents' disputes? I have one. It's okay, I think. Psychotic Opinion, MTG should be best of 2. Tiebreak is determined by life total differentials. It's a little psychotic, but I am happy that this stream is a safe enough space for you to share an opinion like that. They have Emperor Bones. I guess I'm gonna play around Counter Magic. What did I say when I started this match? I said I would like to draw less lands this time. And I'm just thankful I got my wish. I have no other comments. They take my Shoal. I think Counterspell's a take there. It depends on their hand, right? I don't think we can really comment. Second Ghost Vacuum to kind of make it where they almost could never cast Oculus is nice. I guess I should try to make sure that I'm exiling all the creatures with one of the 2 vacuums. Dude, the life gain differential thing it's like so good for Boros energy. It's like, okay, I won game 1 at 45 life and you're at 0. Let's go to game 2. Let's go to game 2. Yickers. And in order to win against Boros, you have to beat them at more than 45 life if you lose game 1. So I think to play around Counter Magic, I guess we could use Charm. I think I want to use Save Charm to draw cards with, probably. Yeah, and if they use a Counterspell here, then we can untap and we can Edict. Or I guess we could have used Charm and Shoal. I don't think that's probably that wise. Okay, let's graveyard this. I'm gonna go Vacuum here, and then Ghost Vacuum up my own Frog with the one that has the Emperor Bones underneath it. And then before they untap with blue mana, let's make them sacrifice the non-token creature of their choice. And then, yeah, you could concede in response to life gain triggers, too. This is kind of fine. I thought it was a clear joke. It is a joke. I'm having fun with this. I'm having fun with this. That wasn't clear either. Do I draw the land now? Alright, fine. What if they could ever, like, double scour to get an Oculus through the vacuums here? I don't know. I guess I'm gonna cast Frog. Like, they don't play almost any removal spells. Maybe they have one. Should be fine. Okay. Wrong. 3, 4 cards in their hand. When did Charm get good again? Has it been good this whole time? Is it only good because of Namor? I don't know. Is it? I think it is. It's got to be good. It's got to. I'm not wrong about this, surely. Hope I'm not wrong about this. I think I need to hold a push. Yeah, Blade Bed maybe. Namor top 25 card, definitely not. Top like 30 is just so stacked. Namor's good. Namor is a good card. It might not be. It might not be incredibly. I think it's underrated. There's 1/2 some shells. Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is maybe just that. You know, I guess we should probably just shoal pitch Tamiyo here. Yeah. I mean, I think part of Namor is just that, like, or some part of Charm is just that it's very good with Namor, and so it's both. It's good with Namor in every way. It just does everything you want. It counters. It removes. It draws cards, and it makes 3 Merfolk. Like, it's so insane with this card. I guess maybe the mana curve is the one issue. Do you know if Cryptic plus Force of Negation up? It says GG's can't beat Artifact 8. GG's. Yeah, I think Grixis struggles against Ghost Vacuum a lot. Okay, got another 4/1. So today's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, my dudes. So I'm not sure. Not sure what. Yeah, let's.